erupted into national light over the last month. And I wanted to ask you, how you eating? How you sleeping?
Um, Initially, there was no sleep.
Yeah.
It was when he went missing, that July the 4th. I think we maybe got maybe an hour of sleep, and then it was back to doing things. And then kind of, after everything unfolded on the 6th, it was just one of those times where just we couldn't believe what we were going through.
Yeah.
We couldn't believe that, our son wasn't physically here anymore.
Yeah.
And so just those racing thoughts and, as parents, we tend to try to do the shoulda, coulda, woulda,
Yeah.
and that's the one thing, for sure. Our family, our community, those who have been supporting us, they're like, no, don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
just know, you did everything you could.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, sometimes there are things, that happen in life. And even though we don't want them to happen,
Yeah.
we don't have control over that. Only God does. So
I want
Think about that, chat. I'm sure mostly all of us who are at our grown up years have had some tragedies occur in our lives that we didn't see coming, couldn't foresee, and that were completely, polarizing and like a metaphorical stop sign in your life, right? Or just an abrupt thing that slows everything down to a halt. And you think about it, sometimes people try to blame karma. Some people blame, they blame themselves for these things that happen. But the truth is that no matter what, everybody here is going to live a human experience, and a human experience is all encompassing. I did a video, a code language, where I talked about the wholeness of life, and I talked about how everything is all encompassing. Life is going to do its 1-2. Like, there's some things that, like, I know a lot of people try to carefully navigate and give out so much game that they help the people younger than them, not go through what they went through. And then, but they might not go through what you went through, but they're going to go through something else. Life is going to do its 1-2. It is. It's going to have them ups and downs and all that. And so, like, in situations like these, you can't blame yourself for it. You can't look back and be like, this is my karma. Is this none of, you just got to understand that for whatever reason, your child's energy has dispersed back into the universe to breathe life into something else. And that void and that space that opens up, you got to find a way to make a garden right there. You know what I'm saying? And put some beautiful things right there to really make that a warm place instead of a empty, dark space. You know what I mean? But all of this stuff builds strength. It builds character. It breeds enlightenment. Like, there's pros that come with the cons too, even in tragedy. So there's a lot here. I don't want to freeze up into, because I get into, my philosophy and all of that, and we'll be stuck. Let's move.
I wanted to commend you as a father and as a man. With the roller coaster of emotions, you have modeled grace in dignity when you could have just erupted in rage. And so, as a Black man and as a Black father, I wanted to first salute you and thank you for being a role model for many of us who have had to navigate and wrestle how to respond to situations that we couldn't control. I wanted to ask you, as a man, how have you been processing this?
Classic. Well, first of all, I also thank you for my wife, because everything that you mentioned, I've been there. I was at that point, but she kept me grounded. And like I said, I owe so much to her for just keeping me at bay. But every day is a challenge. For me, knowing that, my son is not here, I won't be able to see him anymore.
Yeah.
I go through old text messages, old videos, just memories. The last day that I spoke to him, and it just, I break.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do that in my own personal space.
Yeah.
Because I know I have to be that person to be strong for her and my family. So I'm working kind of like a two-sided sword in a sense. And I'm trying my best to keep it as level as possible. But it's hard, you know.
I can imagine.
That
You
we have
never
each
want,
other.
yeah,
That's
we have each
beautiful.
other,
And
and
that's the I would say that's probably what's grounded us in a sense. Because I know early on when there was so much anger and emotions were high, you know, I literally was
I want to speak to what Elmore said. He was talking about feeling the myriad of emotions that a man would go through in a situation like this and dealing with them in his own space. I think that's very powerful. It's not to be skipped over. Sorry, I had to pause on Christine part right there, but it's not to be skipped over because it's very powerful. I always talk about men needing outlets. It just is what it is, yo. Like sometimes I have to talk about like the gross realities of life, and being a man in a lot of different ways is a very, very thankless job. It just is what it is. Like the shelves still got shit left over on them on Father's Day every time. That's how it's going, right? And just men in general, whether you're a father or not. But it's dealing with things in your own space in a constructive, not a destructive manner, you know, in a productive, not a reductive manner. You know, he probably crashing out. He might got him a little workout space that he go into, and he probably crashing out on that iron. You know what I mean? Getting him a good sweat in or whatever the case may be. Might be yelling into a pillow, punching a bag, but it's an outlet. And then that way, when he sit in front of a microphone and he's in front of these cameras, or he scrolls across the stuff being said online, he has the capacity for it. I think we could all learn from the way that the Wansleys are managing this tragedy. Let's continue.
like, look, if you allow that anger to consume you,
Yeah.
and if you act out irrationally, even for a moment, because we're hurting so bad, I was like, I can't do this by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I can't lay our child to rest, still wear the hats we have to wear as adults and parents.
Yeah.
And then like, I can't be by myself. So I want to say thank you
It's beautiful.
for hearing me,
Wow.
because I know how hard it's been for you. I know people have kind of focused in on me, but
Yeah.
I always say he's grieving just as much
That's
as
right.
I am. That was just as much his child
Yes.
as it was mine.
Let me ask you on a lighter note, because you all's
Y'all heard
connection
that?
and energy
Y'all
is so
heard that?
strong. How'd y'all meet?
Before they get, look at them smiles. Look at them smiles. How did y'all meet? Look at them smiles, chat. Hold on, chat. How did y'all meet? Yeah, look. Yeah, dog. He jayed down. Elmore like, shit, I had to slide. You feel? Elmore like, how we meet? Let me tell you, boy. I seen what I like.
Classic.
Yeah. Yeah. But look, yeah, you can't. It's so crazy to not be able to crash out, not even for a moment. You gotta all the way keep it together, even though these folks playing in your face, playing with your time, playing with the information, playing with body parts. They playing left and right. Then they explain it away with some sugar honey iced tea. Is the shit nasty when you think about it? And yeah, you got to keep it all the way together. It's really wild. Sheena said I couldn't do it. They would have put me away. See what I'm saying? Man, listen, we could all learn from the way they manage in this situation. But let's hear about how they met. Let's get it.
That's what we want to know. I don't know if y'all old enough to remember the show Love Connection.
Yes.
What's your first of mine?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was working at a cell phone store, and I was doing our weekly special for the cell phones.
Yes.
And so it was just me and my manager up front. So initially when he came in, you know, she's like, "Hey, how you doing? What can I help you with?" And so at some point it was, "Hey, Christine, can you come in?" I'm like, "No, I am busy.
Right.
I am drawing out our board." And she's just like, "Girl, get over here." And so we started talking, and I was telling him just a little bit, you know, about myself and kind of where I was mentally at that time. I've gone through a lot in my life, a lot more than people my age probably have gone through. And so in that time, I was in the phase of rebuilding.
Okay.
And really just putting that trust back in God and working on that relationship. And so, you know, I told him, I was like, hey, not looking for anything. Like,
Right.
I need to work on me.
That's beautiful.
And we just became friends. But the friendship, just in a short period of time, that connection was undeniable. But, you know, we allowed it to grow and we fostered it and we nurtured that. And of course, just like any.
So since y'all met in the phone store, you got that code early. You was able to get in that back room pretty quick. You had to make sure who was in the top 5 faves. Like, hey, I'm able to get into this storage unit real quick.
Look, he's shaking his head. Hey, fellas, when you see it and you like it, yeah. Hey, tell Shorty, come over here, let me talk to her. She talking about something. I'm working on something. She like her homegirl, like, girl, if you don't get over here and talk to this man, you get what I'm talking about? He's trying to see what's to it. Hey, Big Elmo went and got her. Didi said, yes. Miss Wood said it feels real good loving someone and they love you back. Yes, Lord. JDLS said, beautiful. Let me see. A. Jane said, true. Dami said, I love that photo of him and her. You could tell he was her prize. Yep. Let's get it.
Now, what's your version of the story?
Yeah, what is
sorry, it's similar there, but when I walked into the store, she did not want to help me.
She did not?
No, she was like she said, she was off and on word doing whatever she was doing. But yeah, she did not want to help me. And then but I always mess with her, and say like, well, if you didn't help me that day, we wouldn't be here today. And she was like, yeah, you're right. So but yeah, she didn't want to help me at all, man.
I was busy.
You were a reluctant servant.
I was
God was setting you up.
I did not. And you know, it's so funny, as I always tell him, he still has the card that has my personal. I never gave my personal cell number out.
I still got that card.
Yeah, still has that card. And to this day, I'm like, you know.
The people want to know, did you have an iPhone or an Android?
Then there was a Nextel.
Oh my God. Y'all been together a long time.
Yeah.
One story is I had just moved back home because I was living up here.
In Atlanta?
In Decatur.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to train for a little while at the gym across the street when I was
no way.
For the, NFL.
So are both of you from Mississippi?
Yes.
I'm technically not.
Okay. Did you graduate from high?
Look, they've been married, got all them kids together, and they got married, got all them kids together. He's still answering survey questions wrong. Y'all both from Mississippi? Yeah. Well, technically no. Classic. Dang. Boy. But you notice how they said they got 6 kids together, and they was talking about how Nolan is just as much Elmore's child as he is hers. Who been screaming that for about a month, chat? I'm just saying, who been making a concerted effort to be like, hey, Elmore too. He has a dad. Elmore too. People been in the chat talking about stepdad and them. I done heard all type of stories about their family tree. That was his child. Classic. Yeah. Let's continue, man. Let's continue.
High school in Mississippi.
I did. I always like to joke and say I'm a transplant. So I was born in the Philippines. That's where my mom's family is from. But my father's family is from Mississippi.
Okay.
And so, but I've been here long enough, but I always like to say I'm a transplant.
No, I got it. I wanted to ask, because people have a different perspective of Mississippi historically, and not in actuality. Yeah. And so when we hear about Mississippi, my head is going directly to Mississippi burning. I'm going to turn left and deal with Medgar Evers. I'm going to turn right and deal with Emmett Till. And I wanted to ask, in 2026, what is it like being Black living in Mississippi?
Damn.
Classic. I would.
Dang.
I would.
Hey, when you gotta stop and think that damn long, chat, you know something wrong. He said, what is it like being Black in Mississippi? They went from reminiscing about meeting each other there. Ha ha ha. When you they don't know what to shit. Answering that might fuck up the case. Chat. Classic. You can't tell the truth about that. He said in 2026, what is it like being Black in Mississippi? Mother hit the brakes. Hold on. Hey, I got y'all. Don't say nothing. I got y'all. What is it like? You can't. Hey, I want to see how they tap dance around this one. You can't answer this one. Oh shit.
Say that you would hope that in 2026, right? You would hope that racially things would improve.
Yeah.
And this is where I find, because I personally love history.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite subjects. But when you have a state like Mississippi that has such a complex history, especially when we start talking about race, it's one of those things you cannot forget, right? But that's also why it's important to teach actual history. So then we know, okay, where are we going from here?
Yeah.
How can we improve things? Because when we try to simply just remove things or not think about it, and that's a whole other issue, is because it doesn't affect me, I don't worry about that.
Yes.
But that's the thing when in the Bible, when it says love thy neighbor,
Mhm.
right?
Hold on.
That's how.
Hold on. Yeah. Come on, Sister Christine. Come on, Sister Christine. You got a lot of ninjas like that now. You got a lot of ninjas like that. It ain't on my front doorstep. It ain't real no more. You just making excuses. It's a lot of those, chat. Hold on, let me get right. It's a lot of those, ain't it, chat? That don't exist no more. That's not. It's all about the people that you choose to be around. Da. Come on, man. Come on, Sister Christine. She cooking now, chat. Hold on. StreamYard playing with my screen again. Every time it get lit in here, they start playing with my screen, chat. I don't know what that is, chat. Let's go.
You love your neighbor truly is being concerned about their well-being, their health, things that they need.
Yeah.
So in a state like Mississippi that has the history it has, sometimes, you don't want to think negatively, right? You always want to, and maybe this is just the way I was raised.
Yeah.
You want to try to be positive and see the good in things, but there's always that little part of you that's like, I really hope this isn't what I know it could potentially be.
Right.
And so in raising our children, we were very open and honest about those things, especially because the way I was raised. So my mother's Filipino, but my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, she is half white.
Oh, wow.
So now that I'm kind of getting this blowback and people are saying, oh, you're racist. I'm like, well, first of all, do you understand the definition of racism
Yeah.
and what comes with that? But then two,
Listen, she's cooking, and her choice of words has been amazing. I don't know if they coached her, and I don't want to act like she couldn't come up with it herself. But as far as media training, there's an actual skill to that. That's why I'm saying I don't know if she was coached or if she just really know how to tap dance already. But her choice of words, calling the history of race in Mississippi complex. Beautiful choice of words. Y'all know me, chat. I wasn't gonna say complex. Y'all know me, chat. Listen, she's driving a Honda Civic doing 70 and a 60, chat. I'm driving an 18-wheeler doing 80 and a 60, chat.
Sometimes you just gotta crash on that.
Couldn't have asked me, and my son gone. These folks want justice for real. I'd have been fucked up justice, chat. I ain't gonna lie to you, chat. Hey, all alleged for satire and content creation purposes. But her choice of words has been magnificent. Because I'd have messed up in the first two sentences. Being black in Mississippi, yeah, what's it like being black in Mississippi? I'd have been like, shit. I mean, can I cuss on here? He'd have been like, sure. I'd have been like, I'd have told straight like that, chat. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't have got past two sentences. This is amazing. Beautiful PR work. They need to play this shit in a class. When they teaching y'all public relations in school, they need to study the Wansleys. Facts.
again, I was raised that, hey, and this is a Mississippi. So,
Yeah.
the Bible thumpers.
Yes.
Heavy into church when we were younger. And it was always one of those, love and show respect until that person shows you otherwise, but also to having that discernment.
Yeah.
And that's the thing when you're building relationships, right? You can't just take that person for face value. You have to understand who they are. not just, on the outside, but spiritually. Like
Yeah.
where are they at? And those are the things that he and I have tried to teach our kids. We've instilled in our children. But of course, when children get older, they're going to make their own decisions, but it's the hope that they're always going to do what's best for them.
Yeah. You all have how many children?
So we have 6 children.
6. The young.
Yeah, this was something that I thought was interesting too. So Nolan, his parents spoke about this early on, shortly after his passing. They spoke about how he knew history, like how they instilled history of not only Mississippi but the United States into their children. And so I was talking about how Nolan wasn't naive to the history of where he was at, but at the same time, and that's why I always talk about, this is no critique on them. I want to be clear. But in general, why I always tell you guys that picking a side a lot of times is important. There's objectivity for sure, but objectivity means that you're going to take a clean, unbiased look at everything in front of you. And when you take a clean, unbiased look at what's in front of you, if that clean look shows you that everything in front of you is systemically biased, then that's what it is. That is an objective assessment, right? It's not me having a preconceived notion. I'm looking at what's in front of me, the history, the evidence, the lies. I'm looking at everything in front of me, and I'm saying, listen, this look like what it is. That's true objectivity. Now, what a lot of people do is they play in this gray area, and they look at it for what it is, see that everything is over here, but then they still try to give benefit of the doubt to the other side on some just in case shit. That's not real objectivity. You're not seeing the forest for the trees at that point in time, right? So I damn near forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, I just think that, I think I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, you have to be able to take a clean look at everything and examine it for what it is, and then just take it at face value, whether it feels good to absorb it or not. And sometimes that's why I was going with that. When you teach as Black people and we raise our children and we teach, because first off, I would argue that not enough of us, not enough of my people know the real American history in depth anyway. And I ain't talking about being able to regurgitate dates and times, just the happenings. Even if you just know all the happenings, you don't know all the years and the months and shit like that. You ain't even got to have it down to a science like that. But if you just understand all of the happenings that have occurred in general in the American history and then putting it in chronological order, that would be the next step. But if more of us just understood all the shit that done really went on and how the infrastructure has been set up and who all the players are who infiltrate the infrastructure at every level, then you'll understand systemic issues differently. And once you understand it differently, you can no longer see it through this lens of, maybe it isn't like it, maybe it isn't that, right? Like, Chuck's a good guy, and I measure all people. We teach this thing to our kids, like, yeah, racism is real, but that don't mean all white people are racist. And at the end of the day, measure everybody you meet by their character. That is amazing advice until you meet a wolf in sheep's clothing, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, right? Like, if you lucky in this life, the first time you encounter a wolf in sheep's clothing, meaning that you're measuring people by their character and you're not stereotyping anybody and you're not prejudging anybody and you're not doing none of that stuff. You just meet people and then you go off what you can see and what you can feel and discern. Well, discernment has to be developed, right? If we're lucky, when we meet the first wolf in sheep's clothing, we just get bit a little bit and we learn from it, and then we can navigate life better. But some people don't have that luxury. Some people, when they meet the first wolf in sheep's clothing, it costs them everything. And as crazy as it is to say, a good stereotype would have saved their life. And I'm not talking about Nolan. I'm talking in general. A good stereotype would have saved their life. A good old judging the book by its cover would have saved their life. Yup. People, I don't judge. I do. I like to say I don't judge, I assess. But sometimes I judge. I get judged. I'm going to do a little fucking judging. Why not? Straight up. That balance that we be teaching, sometimes it put us in harm's way. I ain't going to hold you. This is just my opinion too. I ain't trying to impress it on nobody. I'm just sharing with y'all. This is my shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think as a Black person, being pro-black is favorable to you from a safety standpoint. From a safety standpoint, I think it's favorable to you to be pro-black as a black person in America. I think it's in your best interest from a safety standpoint to be pro-black. That don't mean you can't have no white friends. That don't mean you can't intermingle. That don't mean you can't network. That don't mean you can't do no business. That don't mean none of that. But when niggas be like, you know, oh, we've been friends for 10 years and he wants to invite me out to his parents' farm and it's in Wapapupasiki, Georgia, or it's in Wapapupasiki, Illinois, you know, these bumfuck ass areas, these rural ass areas that every state got with all these barren land and just little houses, acres apart from each other and shit like that. And the nearest hospital is a 30-minute drive and all that shit. Motherfuckers invite you out there to kick it with their family and talking about they having a bonfire and shit. And your black ass go out there because y'all been friends for 10 years. Man, hell no, I can't make it. I can't make it unless my cousin Mookie, Man, Ray Ron, and Blicky could come with me. Oh, dude, like I don't know those guys, but yeah, if they can all come with me, then shit, we a fucking slide. Like I don't like a good. Hey, I'm just saying, chat.
Youngest is how old?
15.
15. So walk me through, because so much of the focus has been on the two of you, and people are not really saying that this is not just a son, it's also a brother.
Absolutely.
And so walk us through how the siblings are dealing with this, not just in the grief, but because they are of age, contending with social media. Are y'all having to pull them back?
So I'm so glad you asked this because in passing, like, you know, of course, we kind of see little comments and a lot of people are like, well, what about the siblings? You guys don't ever, but this is the thing. And that's done, you know, intentionally.
Yeah.
Our goal is to always protect them, even though 3 of them are adults.
Yeah.
We still want to provide that protection.
That's great.
They try to stay away from social media.
Yeah.
Hold on. I love this. Sheena Moss said, I was raised not to see color, but when I got older, color saw me. I just said that about 2 weeks ago. You can tell people you don't see color all you want. It's going to see your ass. Show. It's going to see you. It's going to see you. It's going to see you. I remember the first time, and I've heard it multiple times in my life, but I remember the first time a police officer told me, you're one of the good ones. Classic. I remember the first time a cop said that to me. You're one of the good ones. Classic. Fuck is that supposed to mean? Exactly. I remember the first time a cop told me, oh, we absolutely profile. To my face, he told me. And this wasn't even in a situation where we was in a traffic stop or nothing. He was a member at a gym I was working at when I was in college. I was working in the gym and he was a member and he was police. His ass used to come up there on duty and work out with his car running double parked in front of the building. And I started to call the police on the police just because I ain't like the fact that he was breaking the law. Can't nobody else park there but your monkey ass. And your goof ass coming here working out on the motherfucking clock. Every night coming this bitch working out on the clock, on our tax dollars. If your ass don't go stop a criminal, fuck is you doing? And so one day I asked his ass, hey, why y'all always be fucking with me? Because at the time I was driving an old school. I had me an old school Buick Roadmaster, big body, steel body. I was riding, I'm talking about with the rear wheel drive. When you hit the gas, that motherfucker raise up. I was driving one of them, right? So I'm in the old school. I'm like, why y'all pull me over like 5 times a week? Literally, I get pulled over 5 times a week and never get a ticket. Never get a ticket. Got pulled over 5 times a week. Motherfucker looked me in my face and said, oh, because we profile. Classic. He said, that's your car right there? I said, yeah. He said, oh, yeah, I pull you over. To my face. Then broke down the logic. Told me most people that drive that car that look like you, he said 8 out of 10 times I'm going to be able to make an arrest. You just happen to be the 2 out of 10 that's going to keep getting inconvenienced. So when people try to tell me, oh, it's not what it look like, oh, there's good cops and all, man, I'm telling you, they teach this shit. These motherfuckers is taught to profile. Classic. Yeah. And any cops in here, go on ahead and reveal yourself so we can have the fucking conversation. Y'all can eat a bratwurst. Motherfuckers will inconvenience your day for looking how you look. So all the people, I don't see color, race is not real. Y'all can eat a bratwurst too, carnival size, foot long. Classic. I ain't trying to hear that shit. And I'm not in the mood today. Yeah. Mary J 499 said you do an excellent job covering this classic. Justice for Nolan Wells. I appreciate it. Thank you. We just checking in with the Wansies today. Today, lighthearted. We finna have a party in a minute. Y'all tapped into the next stream after this. We finna have a party in a minute, about 9 o'clock, 9:15. So we all in a turned up mood. But yeah, man. Look, she said crash out. Dami be waiting for it. She toxic, chat.
Classic.
She toxic, chat. Every day she talking about I like the cuss and go crazy.
One of our kiddos is in therapy. The oldest is in therapy and kind of just dealing with those emotions because, again, they lost a brother. That wasn't just their brother. That was their friend. That was the person, you know, that kept some of their secrets, you know.
How's it been for the youngest going back to school? You know, so it's one thing to be able to.
So for them, we've, you know, one question we ask, but we don't ask like every day is, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
I like to ask, is there something we can do?
Yeah.
Is there some place we can take you? Is there something you need us to get for you?
Yeah.
Because sometimes simply just asking, are you okay? Or how are you feeling? Because children at that age, they can't always fully express themselves verbally on what they're feeling.
Yeah.
So, you know, asking what can we do for you sometimes is a little bit better because that gives them an outlet. But I'm gonna let Mo answer.
Come on, Mo.
As far as the youngest, he's been busy. So school has started.
Yeah.
They're practicing early in the morning, so that keeps them busy. So school and football is keeping them busy, and he's more focused now because over the summer, him and Nolan, their bond got stronger because they're both.
Hey, y'all, don't take my shit. Don't take my eater. Look, everybody finna start saying eater bratwurst. Oh God, hey, look. Hey, bratwurst. I'm finna go buy some bratwurst stock. Y'all finna run me up. Let's get crazy.
Both play the same position, receiver.
Yeah.
So Nolan was teaching him stuff, and he was understanding the things that he was teaching him to get better. So his focus has gotten laser sharp. He really wants to do good, not just for himself, but to make his brother proud. And he's constantly telling his mom that I'm gonna do it for you and you guys in Nolan.
Classic.
So he's really focused on having. I have no doubt in my mind he's gonna be great.
No,
like I said, it's this fire inside of him that burns, that he wants to be the best. He wants to be better than his brother, but that's kind of like iron sharpens iron.
No,
you know, the competition makes them better. And with this happening,
play sports?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I played football all my life. Actually, I was told that when I was born, I was tossed through the house like football.
Yeah.
You know, because all my uncles played and they just kind of tossed me out of the house. My mom playing catch. So I've been playing football all my life. Just kind of following the family tradition. I had 3 uncles to play in the NFL. So, you know, I didn't make it to the NFL. I went to some camps and everything, but the knowledge that I learned, I was passing it down to my kids.
No,
so they would have a better chance because I didn't have no one there telling me do this. I had to learn on my own.
Yeah.
But with me, I was passing what I learned over the years down to them to better their chances.
That's beautiful. I think the only thing that has outraged me more than this tragedy itself is the treatment of you.
Yes.
I'm dizzied by it. So that, I mean, it's compounding the pain.
Yeah.
To have 1, the loss of a child, 2, to be thrust into cameras on a daily basis. You know, people got an attitude. If you eat ice cream, how dare you eat ice cream?
How dare I go to the store? How dare I smile?
Right.
Yeah. And I wanted to jump around for just a moment and talk about how this is impacting you professionally outside of just being a parent. Now everybody is on Yelp giving nurse reviews. I don't even know where this has come from.
So we caught up on the ones we wanted to take their temperature. I think we got a good pulse on them. What y'all think, chat? 333 if we see how the Wansleys are doing. That's a 55-minute interview. We're gonna leave some meat on the bone. If y'all want to watch it in its entirety and watch it straight through, please slide over to Jamal Bryant's podcast, give him a subscription, and check out the full interview, man. Shout out to Jamal Bryant. Hopefully I've never reacted to his stuff. Hopefully he's not a content creator that copyrights people and he allows us to work off of his content. I appreciated that piece of work. I'm going to enjoy the rest of that interview myself later on. But we got a party to get to in about 30 minutes, and I got to go get ready, Chad. I'm probably going to wear this. I ain't going to lie. You never know, but we got a party to get ready for. We got a 10K sub party, man. We just wanted to check in on Elmore and Christine, and we've checked in on them. So let me finish uploading the Sebastian tape, half of the Sebastian tape for the Music Plus members. Listen to me close. Music Plus members on the channel. Oh, let's move off this first before I make this announcement. Y'all let me know on the rewatch what y'all think about checking in on Elmore and Christine, and just give an honest comment and reaction to how they're doing, and how would you be holding up if you was in their situation. Let's exercise some empathy in the comments on the rewatch. Let's move. If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com, or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart.